I'll be sorry to go.
We're too late.
Well, this is awkward. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure doing this mini-series for you. I bid you farewell. Okay, Bond wasn't really killed. It was a publicity stunt organized by MI6 to give him some cover for his next mission, to be explained after this. Hi, I'm Kevin from the SDP, and this is the 007 Diamond Jubilee. Our story starts in outer space, where an American spacecraft mysteriously disappears from radar mid-flight, and Pentagon officials blame the Soviets for its disappearance. The British, however, are convinced a third party is involved. After the death and rebirth of 007 is arranged, he is assigned to Japan in order to investigate leads regarding to the rocket theft. In Bond's quest for the truth, he goes through a number of contacts, male and female alike. Twice is notable in that there are two heroic girls sharing an equal amount of screen time, Aki, a Japanese SIS agent, and Kissy Suzuki, a civilian pearl diver who gets married to Bond in a fake and overly long-running ceremony. These are a couple of girls so forgettable that they even killed off one of them, and you'd be hard-pressed to notice the difference. In Twice, we are finally personally introduced to the man running Spectra, Mr. Ernst Stavro Blofeld. The way he manipulates everyone, even those loyal to him, commands some thunder out of his presence. Plus, the way he's been kept out of sight for the past few movies only adds to the drama of his big reveal. Still, his performance is a little weak, and there are inconsistencies with the way he tries to handle 007.
I shall look forward personally to exterminating you, Mr. Bond. This is the price of failure, Mr. Bond. Goodbye, Mr. Bond.
The roundup of other henchmen, Mr. Osato, Helga Brandt, and Hans, is once again forgettable. Not helping is the fact that Brandt and Hans are rip-offs of other characters, namely Red Grant and Fiona Volpe, but Hans in particular is given very little to do. But the supporting cast is balanced by Tiger Tanaka, M's counterpart in the Japanese SIS. From time to time he tries to one-up his own culture over the British, but he never gets too overbearing about it, and overall, he's just a joy to watch. For being heavy on spectacle, there surprisingly aren't a lot of gadgets to speak of in Twice. Q Branch provides Bond with a personal helicopter called Little Nellie, which is used in a rather formulaic dogfight. I mean, you know they're going to use every attached weapon described by Q. Not to be outdone, Tiger gives us this.
It can save your life, this cigarette.
You sound like a commercial.
The opening credits sequence is a boring intro that sticks to three elements: footage of volcanoes erupting in the background, silhouettes of geisha women, and these spiderweb/satellite things in the foreground. The theme song is sung by Nancy Sinatra. It makes the opening credits even more boring, but at least the lyrics give you something to ponder. You only live twice, or so it seems. One life for yourself and one for your dreams. The very words I live by. Twice was the first Bond movie to noticeably differ from its source novel thanks to replacement writer Roald Dahl of all people. The book, which takes place after On Her Majesty's Secret Service, starts with Bond taking on a cushy diplomatic mission in Tokyo to recover his mental health. Things get complicated when he discovers that Blofeld is living somewhere in the country, running a castle and garden filled with poisonous plants and animals, and attracting prospective suicides. A sort of Disneyland of death, as the book puts it. There are still a number of characters shared between the book and the movie, such as Bond's contacts Henderson and Tanaka, and the movie's climax probably took inspiration from that of the book, where Bond conducts a one-man ninja raid on the castle. Dahl was highly critical of the book, claiming it was a travelogue with no plot in it which would even make a movie, but I wouldn't nearly go so far in criticizing it, even if the plot is light in the first half. If you're interested in Japan, I say try them both. In essentially rewriting the plot instead of basing it off of Ian Fleming's novel, Roald Dahl may have borrowed a few pages from the other Bond adventures, but he took some of the best pages. There's a reason the idea of getting two superpowers to fight and take down one another has been used so often by villains throughout the franchise. It works. It serves as a politically based source of tension without being overly complicated, and it makes you think about whether or not we as a people really want war. As for how it was executed this time around, it was implied in one scene that Spectre was engineering the conflict because they had been paid off by China, but I wish they had expanded on that plot thread. Whilst Twice lacks the well-developed intricacies of From Russia with Love, it makes up for that in the production design, not the least example being Blofeld's hollowed-out volcano base. Twice could be described as a more typical action movie in some parts. You won't see a countdown close shave in Russia, for example, but that only helps make it more fun to watch. I just hope it helps you better appreciate entries like Russia or the 2006 Casino Royale. You Only Live Twice scores 75%, a B-.
Bon appetit.